Okay, so another episode with a Triumph, and this time fitting this onto the handlebars. But to do that, there's already a panel I've taken off here. I forgot to get the camera out before I started. But there's a panel taken off here. I'll show you me putting it back on. Oh God! Oh no! Putting it back on. It's 3 or 4 screws, and I've loosened this one here. To get that off entirely, I have to remove that indicator, and it's a nut and bolt, and it's just spinning, and I can't be bothered to mess around. I've got new indicators coming tomorrow, I think, so I'll worry about it more then. And then, so yeah, I'm gonna put it up here. Cable's gonna go down there, come through here, along here, and come out into the battery box, whereupon I will attach it to that. Another connection for the bloody battery, poor thing. So just trying to think of the best place to put you. That's actually an alright spot. Let's turn you a little bit. So there you go. Right, so another eBay purchase. So I've got this, comes apart as such, and then you got the battery connections there. If you can't match red and black, you shouldn't be doing this work on your own, basically. So I reckon if we push it down, there's a little gap there. I'm not gonna lie, it's not always the easiest to do this kind of stuff on motorbikes, but God, batteries constantly going. Right, anyway, as I've said, it's not always easy to route this stuff, but not paying somebody to do what is actually a relatively simple job, so just got to persevere sometimes. I brought it out into the daylight thinking it'd be easier to work with, but actually this sunlight's kind of blinding. Right, it's trying to take a funny path. I'm trying to push it down one path, it's trying to take another one. So we'll push. Fairly certain that's gone where I wanted it to now this time. Yes. So I don't know if you can see, but it's come out here. So it's gone in to a corner here and out there. So can I always like to remove the ground last, or the neutral, whatever you want to call it on the bike. It's pretty safe, DC current, low. You are probably going to find you have to reset the clock and stuff afterwards if you do something like this, but that's just the price we pay. So there you go. That is the positive terminal connected. Disconnected, sorry. Sorry, you shifted then. I saw you shift. Okay. Now, I like to disconnect ground last and reconnect it first. So that should be loose. Right, one thing I'm going to do is just try and pull this cover up a bit. There you go. So it should bend over a bit better. Okay. So I would say this is probably the hardest bit, but I'd actually say routing the cable is the hardest bit. Mind you, famous last words. Okay. Now it should be, I don't know if you saw that, I don't know if I can point it out, but there, the end of my screwdriver is the nut for the terminal. And basically they should be thick enough that they sit in the square beneath it, so all you have to do is drop the screw down and then it's square and it sits in this terminal here and you can't get it out. So what I haven't thought about there is how, yeah, I've been a bit stupid there. So what we want to do is think about how it's going to sit. So I'm just going to match it up to that, and yeah, that should be fine. So it'll, when this comes over, if it'll come over now, give it a little yank, push that down. I think that's as good as it's going to get. I mean, you can bend that, which I have done. Just be careful if you bend it. You see how I've bent that? Obviously these things only have a limited, I mean, you've all pulled the ring pull off a can or whatever, do that enough times and it snaps. Well, this is exactly the same, so just be careful when you're messing around, because you really don't want to have to do that. I actually happen to have all of the stuff to redo it, so I wouldn't actually worry myself too much about it. I just don't like to do it if I can avoid it. Okay, the other thing you want to avoid is, bearing in mind, so sorry, I just need to turn the screen back on so I can see what you're seeing. Hello. It won't let me see. Hopefully you can see what I'm, there we go. So this obviously, so one of these is for my charging connection, my battery charging. I thoroughly recommend you install one of them if you don't have one. I've got one on both my bikes. This is obviously connected to all of the fuses and stuff which supply the bike. You keep touching that, you're gonna get sparks, you're gonna ruin fuses. Really not ideal, so just bear that in mind. But again, I'm going to do exactly the same. So I'm going to hook, oops, I'm going to hook, well, I'm going to try to anyway. I'm going to hook that on there. Right, that is now, right, this is what I'm talking about. You don't want to keep pulling it off. So don't actually know if these terminal covers do anything useful, really, other than get in the way. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing, hopefully. Yeah, this one's just getting in the way. Should automatically pick up the nut, which it has done, and then you just tighten. Ooh, not too much because I want to turn that, and then push that down into there. See how I've got that nicely out of the way, and then you can pull this up and actually turn that slightly. So at this point the contact's made, so you can loosen it off a bit and you don't need to worry about it. There we go. And then I'll just push that into there. Right, so now that is a live connection. And we'll just root that out of there. What's going on here? Just need to make sure the connection's tight, because you don't want that giving up on you whilst you're riding, losing your electrics. So just do that, push that down. So my seat should push these down a little bit when it goes back on. just provides a little bit of cover, not a huge amount. But there you go. So okay, we're back. So I'm not actually going to attach this to anything just yet, because aside from anything else, I'm not sure how much cable I've got here. But let's straighten this up. What we're going to do, I'm going to follow these, come through here. Right, what's best? So I'm trying to find a decent pathway through. So where do these go? These go right into, okay. So just follow another cable, because what you can do, you even see me, is cable tie it to the other cable, and that way it's nice and neat. So hopefully what I can do is bring it behind here, oh, I've dropped it. There it is. So there you go. Make the connection. That is now a live circuit to the charger. Right, so that's actually sitting on the engine, but that's not a problem. Have I chosen a bad pathway? Oopsie. Sorry, I think I found a different way to go about it. I'm just trying to avoid some of the engine stuff. I don't think it's going to be perfect, but obviously I don't want it over the hot engine. So you can't see what I'm doing, can you? There's a lot of dirt behind here. I think that's a bit better. So what we'll do, pull that back through and let it sit up there. So what I'm doing now, just push that in there. Is that where that always went? Yes, it is. Okay, that's fine. So that comes in there. We'll take it over this little ridge here, and then it comes up, goes, I don't know if you can see that, along there. It'll come out through here, hopefully sit there, and there'll be plenty of slack then for that. So I'm going to get on and do the cable ties. It's a bit windy and this stand isn't brilliant, so I'm going to do that without the camera, and then I'll come back and show you.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I've done it. So as you can see, I've put it on there, I've put it underneath. I don't know why, just wanted it out of the way. So it's cable tied with plenty of slack, so that as you turn the handlebars, it should not catch, and then disappears off down there, as I already showed you. And I've just cable tied it a couple of times out of the way. So I don't know if you've noticed with the lights on, but moment of truth. So I open this, and as you can see, it's got a power switch, and it's got two. I've only got the one cable with me at the moment, so let's try and do this one-handed. So there's another short video. Oh, I did say I'd show you. So currently So plug it into my phone. My phone currently not doing anything. Let's switch it on, and there you go, charging. So it's worked, and that's nice because I didn't actually check to see if there was a fuse in here. So there you go. Right, I'm going to stop this, set up to put the panels back on, and yeah, you can see the panels go back on. Okay, so that's, I'm not sure what's holding that on at the moment, I won't lie. So you see me, yeah, I'm not going to bother with anything like grease or anything like that. These are just quite clean bolts. Don't know if you can see that has gone in. So we'll just tighten this up. There we go. Believe it or not, that's not actually going in. He's being a bastard. There we go. So these things don't have to be massively tight. Well, this was just spinning. I'm not going to worry myself about this right now. These are being replaced in the next few days as well. Challenge. Okay, that was actually not that much of a challenge, was it really? He says. Which way on do you go? Not that way. Must be this way. Why are you not? Ah, there is. There was some popping sounds earlier, so maybe something needs to pop on. Ow! Sorry. They should line up there. That should line up there. If all else fails, give it a whack. See what happens. Oops. Oh no, I've gotten completely lost. There you go. So it should go over there. Why is it not? Ah, right. That goes over that, so you kind of got to slide it on from the back. See how much easier that's gone on? So yeah, and then I don't know if you can see that hole there is lining up, and hear that pop? That's the pop I thought I was expecting. So just put that in with my finger for now, and then I wonder if this will line up automatically, if I'm going to have to move around. Sorry if I'm in the way. I'm trying not to be. There you go. I won't lie to you guys, that was way easier to take off than it was to put on. put the seats back on still. Is this all the jobs that I have to do on the bike? I'm off to get a new number plate. I'm not going to show you doing a number plate because you can't figure out a number plate. Again, you shouldn't be working on your own stuff. And there you go. I'm not going to show you how to put the seat back on either, do you know, because seats are fairly, well, if you can't get your seat off, you shouldn't even be riding the bloody bike. It's part of the teaching, I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done mine. Oh cool, there's the other end of the clutch, I've just realised. So I'm having a little bit of problem with that, but I think I've got it balanced now. So yeah, so that is installing a new power socket. Just got to figure out your own way of doing it, really, how you want it. So what have I'm sure there's another job I've got to do on this. Putting the seats on, getting a new number plate. I don't know. If there is, there'll be another episode in a minute. I say in a minute because it'll be in a minute for me. It'll be next week sometime for you. I'm going to sort of step the uploads for this. Let's turn more. There I am. Just resting against the bike so you don't fall over. So yeah, sockets installed. This will be another episode. Hand them done. I've got brakes coming. I've got new indicators coming. Because these ones have been crashed about by the looks of it, so I'm going to replace the indicators. I'm looking at new mirrors. I did save some new mirrors because I found some that fold, and I think they'll be good for like off-roading and stuff. So yeah, I really hate these battery terminal covers. They're just not staying on as they should. But they'll be covered by a seat in a minute, so it won't be a problem. So yeah, so I'm going to pack up. If I find something else to do, there'll be another recording. And if I don't, join us later for the Kawasaki. I'm going to take, not today, not that you'll know the difference, but I'm going to take the brakes and the back wheel and the chain off. I'm going to wheel it out. I'm going to give it a good clean out. And then I'm going to put the petrol tank back on and see how it runs. Can't put it together for a while. We'll come to that one. This is a triumph episode. I might have to edit that out. But yeah, actually no, I don't have to. It's my channel. I can do what I want. So yeah, the Kawasaki build is coming, but to fit the exhaust I need to spend 350 quid for a new manifold that fits the exhaust I got for it. I'm looking at one of these electronic decibel silencers so that I can pass the MOT with it on and then switch it off and have the raw sound of the exhaust, but we'll see how that goes. All depends on how legal they are. So yeah, that's it for another episode. Join us again, where I will no doubt find something else to turn my hand to. Farewell.